Welcome, my name is Alden Reed and you're watching Arcane Tablets. Thank you for joining me. So today we're going to start talking about each of the 12 color tribes individually. We're going to talk about their phenotypes and of course about their metaphysical color energy. And if you're not familiar with this topic, I have a couple introductory videos on color tribes and I would recommend that you watch those. So we're going to journey first here to Oceania and see what's going on with the pink tribe. So as always, we like to start by situating ourselves geographically. Where in the world might we find pink people or color-blended pink people? So we have two categories here, primary and secondary regions. And as we might imagine, the primary regions are going to be areas where those pink phenotypes and that pink color energy is going to be very strong. Whereas the secondary regions are going to be areas where those pink phenotypes and that pink color energy is certainly going to be present, but there's going to be other color tribes there. And a lot of the people expressing that pink energy are going to be color blended. So the primary regions are Polynesia, Micronesia, New Zealand, Melanesia, the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia. And the secondary regions are Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, Taiwan, China, Japan, Myanmar, India, Madagascar, and Papua New Guinea. So here we have a map of the core regions of each color tribe. And again, as we can see, the pink tribe is really centered here in Oceania and Micronesia and Melanesia and extending down into Polynesia, of course. That's where those mono pink phenotypes and color energy are going to be very strong. Of course, it's going to extend over here into other parts of Southeast Asia and even all the way down into Madagascar. And we're going to look at another map to highlight that in a moment here. So here's a map of the greater pink region. We've got our core here in Oceania, and the pink phenotypes and color energy is still going to be very strong in the Philippines. It's probably still the dominant phenotype and color energy in the Philippine Islands. And it's going to be very strong in Indonesia as well, and a little bit falling off more as we get into mainland Southeast Asia, but still obviously very visually present in Malaysia and Thailand and Cambodia especially. And then up into Myanmar, of course, and even a little bit along the coast of India and down into Madagascar. Of course, there's going to be some strong yellow color energy that is mixing in a lot of these areas, coming in from East Asia, right? And some strong orange color energy as well, coming in from South Asia, mixing in all of these regions, right? As you can see, the pink color tribe is closely associated with the Austronesian language tree. So areas that generally speak an Austronesian language are often areas where there's going to be very strong pink phenotypes and strong pink color energy. And there's even a little bit of residual pink color energy up here with the Ainu people and the ancient people of Japan going back more than 15,000 years especially, but even more recently in the past couple thousand years before large amounts of yellow people really colonized Japan, were indeed mostly from the pink tribe. So even though they don't really look as pink as a lot of the people obviously in Oceania or even some of those other regions, there certainly is a little bit of pink color energy still there, just as there is some in Taiwan and southern China as well. And again, it's just going to extend really all throughout the Pacific, really just being kind of blocked a little bit by the mountain highlands here in Papua New Guinea, right? And not so present in Australia, but very much in the ring of fire, right? And in these areas where there's going to be Austronesian language speakers. So there are actually two kinds of melanin that influence human phenotypes: eumelanin and pheomelanin. Eumelanin is a darker pigment that comes in shades of brown and black. And people from tropical regions usually have a lot of eumelanin in their skin, eyes, and hair. Conversely, people from temperate regions usually have much less eumelanin in their skin and often less in their eyes and hair as well. Pheomelanin is a lighter pigment that comes in shades of red and yellow, so tribes which represent a color that includes red and or yellow do indeed have subtle red and or yellow hues and undertones in their skin. The key point here is that there is no blue pheomelanin, and as a result, tribes that represent a color that includes blue don't have skin colors with similar subtle blue hues or undertones. Instead, these tribes signal their color alignment with other phenotypes like lighter hair and eye colors, especially blue eyes. So most of the people that we're looking at today would be described as mono-pink, which means that they very strongly represent that pink phenotype and channel that pink color energy. So mono-pink people usually have moderate amounts of brown eumelanin in their skin mixed with moderate amounts of red pheomelanin, which imbues them with a variety of pinkish undertones that range from salmon to rosewood. Their skin is often quite melanin-rich and usually has a natural sheen that appears reflective under light. Mono-pink people have hair that ranges in color from dark brown to black, which is typically thick and very wavy or curly. Their eyes are usually almond-shaped or round and range from dark brown to black. Mono-pink people usually have round or oval-shaped faces, and they tend to have broad heads, wide faces, and a mixture of angular features and rounded contours. They usually have jawlines which are soft but still strong. Mono-pink people usually have broad and gently sloped noses with full and naturally prominent lips. Their bodies are typically broad with thick limbs, solid stocky frames, and medium to large size builds. They are naturally quite powerful and muscular, making them very good swimmers and athletes. Mono-pink men typically have very little body or facial hair. Some of them grow sparse mustaches or goatees, but full beards are less common. So before we continue, we need to talk a little bit about universal energy signatures and metaphysical correspondences. In basic terms, UES are raw primal energetic forces that imbue many different things and categories within reality, especially key metaphysical systems like astrology, archetypes, chakras, and color tribes. As a result, specific units or attributes from each of these metaphysical systems, like Aries, the Adventurer, the Root Chakra, and Pink, share natural corresponding relationships with the other attributes imbued by the same UES. Energy signatures also imbue each color tribe with gender, quality, and elemental energies. By studying each color tribe's aspects and corresponding attributes, we can learn about their unique metaphysical color energy. In truth, all human beings are meant to represent a color from the visible light spectrum. Using these color terms helps us more accurately describe human phenotypes, but they also help us understand each tribe's metaphysical color energy as well. Color energy strongly influences the creation of cultures, ethnic groups, and nationalities. So although each of these metaphysical systems are imbued by the same set of primal universal energy signatures, each of them has a primary sphere of influence where they tend to be more predominant. Astrology primarily influences our core personality, basic approach towards life, and fundamental sense of individual being. It governs our inner or emotional lives and core personal relationships with family, friends, lovers, and co-workers. It is the most complex of the spiritual sciences and the most attuned to who we are as multifaceted individual beings. Color energy primarily influences our cultural values, our attitudes towards governance, and the formation of social systems. It also gives people a specific color comportment or way of caring and conducting themselves in public. Naturally, color-blended people have a more diverse color-blended color energy. Archetypes primarily influence our professional life or the main reason, purpose, or goal behind our current incarnation. Primary archetypes define our core profession or purpose, while secondary archetypes modulate this primary energy. In essence, primary and secondary archetypes combine to make 144 unique sub-archetypes. So to be clear, these spheres of influence are not mutually exclusive, and to a certain extent, these UES-imbued metaphysical attributes are layered on top of each other and do create a cumulative stacking effect. Nevertheless, each system does tend to predominate in these different spheres. So now let's go over metaphysical correspondences so that we can get a better idea of what pink color energy is like. The pink tribe is a masculine cardinal fire tribe, and they are aligned with the root chakra, the astrological sign Aries, and the number 1. They're also aligned with the adventurer archetype, which is very similar to the archetypal energy of the sun, the warrior, the prince, and the athlete. The core essence of these archetypes is strength. Mono pink physical characteristics are thoroughly saturated with metaphysical pink color energy. Their bodies and physique perfectly symbolize pink's masculine, cardinal, and fire aspects, while also naturally synchronizing with pink's corresponding attributes, the root chakra, Aries, and the adventurer. Mono pink people have sun-kissed skin, which exhibits a natural fiery glow, and facial expressions that are strong, confident, and alert. They have a bold and imposing physical presence, always ready for action and battle. Their powerful, stocky bodies, strong neck and shoulders, and head-forward position perfectly capture the image of a ram ready to charge. The lack of body hair combines with their physique to create a streamlined, aerodynamic presence, ready to launch into action and activity at a moment's notice. Mono pink people have a pure and youthful physical energy, and even older members of the pink tribe seem to reflect the raw strength and vitality appropriate for the first color tribe, born at the sunrise of civilization. With powerful statures, intrepid postures, and naturally toned muscles, their bodies are perfectly constructed to master the physical landscape of reality. The pink tribe are the oldest color tribe, and due to extensive color blending in Southeast Asia with the orange and yellow tribes, there are not many mono-pink societies in the world today. Long ago, the pink tribe was predominant in Southeast Asia, and their ancient ancestors used their bold and intrepid color energy to expand into the vast unknown of the Pacific Ocean. As we shall discuss in the future, this expansion actually happened more than once, and the very first migration was led by ancient Lemurian seafarers. Being imbued by masculine cardinal fire energy and aligned with Aries, the adventurer, and the root chakra, pink societies tend to emphasize strength, initiative, and action. Along the same lines, they generally prioritize individual achievement and defer to strong leadership. However, they also usually value the strength of wisdom, and even strong leaders usually value the input of other key members of society as well. Traditional Lemurian and Polynesian governments were local, decentralized, and led by warrior chiefs and shaman priests, whose rule was based on success in warfare and careful consultation of oracles and the organic rhythms of nature and society. Of course, much like contemporary societies in Oceania, Lemurian society eventually evolved into a more peaceful culture, which is a good reminder that being imbued by archetypal warrior energy does not mean a society need continue valuing war and conquest. That being said, like all masculine energy tribes, pink societies are at greater risk of becoming imbalanced and dominated by small groups of elite men. Sometimes Aries and the Ram charge forward without considering or consulting the rest of the flock. Nevertheless, just as good generals listen to their strategists, defer to politicians, and carefully consider the needs and desires of their soldiers, good pink leaders have always listened to their spiritual guides, deferred to wise elders, and carefully considered the needs and desires of their people. All right, thank you for joining me on this journey of human color tribe exploration and celebration of human diversity. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with others. Next up, we are going to journey to the Americas and find out what is going on with the red color tribe. For now, I just want you to know that you are wonderful, you are beautiful, and you are absolutely perfect just the way you are. Know that I love you very much and that God loves you very much as well. Many blessings. We will see you again soon.